Alright, we're going to start here in a little bit. Give me just a second while I get my desk situated. And then we'll go. Let me know how the music level is with my voice. I currently have it set to about floating anywhere between -35 and -30. So if it needs to be lower, let me know. If it needs to be higher, let me know too. Okay? Give me a second. Oh, huh. Might be good if I actually turn the microphone on. Okay. Okay. So, we finished... Well, we almost finished this block right here. With this sort of odd chunk here, with a weird sort of diagonal wall. And this long sort of hallway here. Hope you guys can hear me now. Okay, good. We also had this weird, I don't know, warehouse type thing here. This sort of long chunk that was sort of separate from this building. Kind of, not really. Not really sure what was going on with that. So anyways, we got this last little house. And then this whole block will be done here. And this house also has something sort of odd in that it has a very long room right here. And it runs along this long sort of room right here too. So which is sort of odd. It also has like a double thick wall for this, for a room right here. But instead of, you know, just telling you about it, let's just go ahead and start knocking it out. Surprisingly, this chunk of wall here is where it should be. And this room is like, I don't know, 4 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, so something like this. Get that out of here. And it pretty much comes all the way down. Just like that. It also has an opening right here that leads out onto the road. And surprisingly enough, right here, it's got an opening like that leads this way. This room right here is another 4 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. Then we got one here that's like either 3 wide or 2 wide. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 wide, so it's going to be 2 wide. Like that. Also sealed off for some reason. And this one actually goes pretty much down into the walkway here, which is very odd. And it does something like that. And this chunk's taken out. So something that's interesting is that this sort of chunk of rooms or buildings here seems to do something really weird with the walkways, with those center walkways that all of the other buildings share. So yeah, we're using odd instead of weird today. Yeah, I'm really trying hard not to say weird a lot or strange or bizarre or stuff like that. Mostly because we don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on with this, and so we shouldn't judge based on our own ideas of what is acceptable. Okay, so this continues down. Let's see here. How does this go? This actually should be like right here instead. And then this comes out here for some reason. And then the double thick wall is here. And it comes out, so this okay, so this 2 wide room also has a room here. So it comes this way. No. It comes like this. No. It comes like I don't know. This is breaking my brain, this one. It comes like this. And then this comes down. Okay, so we're gonna have to adjust this one to be a little different. And then we'll get rid of this. Then it comes here. Oops, like this. And then this has an opening here to this road. And this room back here also has an opening to this road, like that. And that's the layout of this house. Oh, no it's not, no it's not, no it's not. We need right here. Whoops, like that. So this is the layout of this house. So, yes, very, very odd. And actually these 2 rooms here are not correct, but that's as close as we're going to be able to get them. So yeah, so there you go. Unique, yes, maybe I should try unique. Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Welcome. Unusual, yeah, that's good. Unusual is good. Okay, so this is it. So very unique and very unusual layout for this one. So let's go ahead and slap some walls down and see how we feel about this. So we're going to slap some walls down here. Also, I am doing this instead of writing a paper that I'm supposed to be writing. Which is fine. I'm actually a little ahead on my work, which is very rare for me because I actually planned ahead this time. Actually planned ahead for the paper that I just turned in too, which was really nice. I'd actually been working on that paper for like a week, rather than waiting till the last minute and cranking out something that was kind of garbage. I actually like took the time to make it sound academic, which is something that is not very common with me. So I'm hoping my instructor, my advisor likes it. We'll see. We'll see what she says. But yeah. All right, here we go. All right, so we do this. We go. What was it again? Was it stack? Oh my god. Yes. Okay. Stack. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at this and see what we want to do here. Let's see if we can figure out where the plaza is. I don't know. Maybe this. Maybe this. This is an odd one. This one's gonna hurt my brain. Okay, let's try to figure out how one would sort of enter this place. So I'm going to assume you have a double door here. You come into this room, and then there's a double door here, which tells me it's probably some sort of nice entrance. And then you come into this room and it goes nowhere. Okay, so that's dead end. All right, so then we have this, right? And this comes in from the main road. You come in here. Okay, this is a very big opening. This is not so big opening, so this is obviously a door. So maybe this is the courtyard area. Or maybe this is some sort of warehouse type building. I don't know. So you come in here, and then you're met with this room. Okay. And this. Oof. Okay. Now that room, this room right here has no door, so we're gonna have to make one. So let's make a door right here. You come in here and here. Okay, there we go. Okay. Same with this little room here. So let's say this little room has a door. This. Okay. Now this big room, of course, you come in from. So this is probably the shop here. I don't know. I don't know what do we think of this place? This is definitely, and then of course this room here doesn't have any way to get into it. So I'm gonna say like that, so you can get into it this way. You know, I'm thinking we just make this a single story, is what I'm thinking. That's what I'm leaning towards right here. I think this should be a courtyard here. And maybe storage here. And then you come in here and you got a couple other rooms, maybe for storage. This seems very utilitarian rather than a house. That's what I'm leaning towards, is very utilitarian. Let's see what people say. Are you going to post a link to it if it gets approved? Oh yeah. No, I'll put it somewhere for everyone to read. The paper that I wrote. I'm probably going to actually start working on it to make it even longer, because I've got a lot of thoughts on what I wrote about that didn't make it into the paper because of length. So yeah, if you want to easily stack the walls, making a new bricks layer first, just stack the cobblestone layer and then do fill mud bricks to replace cobblestone. That's fine. It's not a big deal. I don't mind the stack too, and it allows me to sort of put the mud bricks down and sort of get a good feel for everything. Oh, speaking of which, let's do this. There we go. Do you think the roof might have been reversed on this one? Like it was facing a completely different direction than the rest of the block? Yeah, that's what I'm starting to think. I really am starting to lean that way. But I also think that this might have a bit of a utilitarian. I think you might have one room here, and then you might have a small complex here, and then a small chunk of rooms here. So here, tell you what, let me show you what I mean. We're going to use different colored blocks to show you what I mean. So let's go from there to there, and I want to replace air with let's do oak planks. Whoops. I might actually have to tell it, like, you know, yes, planks, thank you, tab, there we go. Okay, and then I think the other one is going to be here, so this one to this one. And for that, let's just do a mangrove. We'll do mangrove. Whoops, mangrove planks underscore planks. There we go. And then I think the rest is going to be basically here to here, and same thing, instead of mangrove planks, so let's do I guess birch is a different color. So this is what I think is going on here. I think we've got this chunk here, and this chunk here. That's what I think is going on. Yeah, I agree. It doesn't look like it's a house. It definitely looks like it has a lot more of a utilitarian sort of way of looking at things. So I'm thinking that here, let me know what you think of this. So if I take this and go to let's say here, let's do replace the birch planks with air. Okay, so what do you think of this? So you come in here and you've got sort of a thing that sort of overhangs like this, so it's sort of still an open area, and then back here same thing, maybe more of an open area, and then you come back here and this is all like storage. Storage, and then from here you come in here and you've got building and storage, I guess. I don't know. Well, what do we think of that? I'm leaning towards that. Looking at the map, is this the building facing inward towards that large intersection? Oh, yes. Yes, it is. It's facing towards the sort of the middle road there. So yes, so this is just the western side of the settlement. There's a whole nother chunk off this way of houses. So this is sort of like a main sort of middle road. So yes, this could be faced in such a way to where people can enter both this and this. These both could be shops here. In fact, this could be also sort of open. Tell you what, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make this open air area for stalls. This also sort of open air, and then this is all gonna be roofed. So let's do that. So what I think I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna do these guys as a roof. So like this, right, all the way across. And I wonder if I can get away with doing that and that, and then I wonder if I could do that. Can I do that? Replace air with oak trapdoor. God, I hope this works. That's not where I wanted it. That's not where I wanted it at all. Okay, let's undo that. All right, well, so I want them up here, or maybe at the top. Maybe if I do this and do the same thing, something like that. Let's try that. Let's see if that works. Okay. Ah, there we go. We do that. So you got this sort of open air area, and then I can have stalls right here. And then for here, we're gonna do, yeah, I'm not sure if this one has a second floor either. Let's go ahead and get rid of these. So you got that, right? And maybe we do the same thing. Maybe we do the same thing right here. We do that and that. See how that looks. So you come in here. Oh, yeah, I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. Okay. Let's do something with this. Because, you know, I keep trying to make this a thing, and it will eventually grow on me. Let's do that. And let's go like that, and like that. Okay, I'm liking it. You know, I could even do something like this. We could just have an entrance like that instead of having doors. I'm liking it. Is this the final structure? For this block, yes. For this block, we still have this whole one here, but this is the final structure for this chunk here. So I think then what we'll do is we should put a roof on this and this actual roof, because it's got small doorways, which to me would suggest that you have doors here. Why did I put these here? That doesn't make any sense. Why did I put those there? Where am I at? I am... Okay, so that's the... Oh, yeah. So for some reason I did not put... Wait, did I not put the... No, that's right there. Hold on, I'm confusing myself. Give me a second here. Okay, so that's where that's at. And those actually need to be a little bit farther down. Yeah, for some reason I didn't put that there. Okay. There we go. Okay. So I think what we should do is we should put a long doorway that goes into this, which would be a storage room for this area here. Yeah, there's another one. There is another one. Okay. I think we should put a roof here and there. That should be like This one's definitely a tough one. Definitely a tough one. Kinda difficult trying to figure this one out. Why don't we see what it looks like? Let's go ahead and do this. Let's do our usual type of roof like this. So we're gonna go here, then it goes like this, and we're gonna go here, and yes, we are gonna change this. So don't worry. Like that. Okay. And then for this one, we would do something like that, and it would go that way. It'd come down this way, and then turn 90 degrees and come this way. I don't know if I like that. I really don't know if I like that. What if we followed this line all the way down, and then that went 90? But then this would have to be a flat roof here. Well, folks, this one's definitely pretty difficult. Okay, what if we did this? What if we... Yeah, I don't know, man. I really don't know. Let's try this like this. Okay, we do this, and then we do this, and we do that, right? And so this comes all the way down until it meets with this, and this comes all the way down like that. Oops. Okay. I feel like once we slap a roof on this, it'll probably look a lot better and make a lot more sense. Okay, so once we got that, then we do this all the way down. Okay, we do this coming this way. Okay, and then we do this coming all the way down. Okay, like that, right? Right? Okay. This one's definitely definitely a head scratcher. Okay. Okay, so here we are. We do this and then this. Oops. We also need that there. Okay. And it looks like I should probably, instead of having it like that, have it like this. Because it flows better that way. Yes. Yes, it does. Okay. Alright, so then I could do a flat roof here. So we could just go like this. Yeah. Yeah, that's how we'll do it. And of course, we'll get rid of all the planks and stuff here in a second. Okay, like that. Okay. I think that's fine. I do think that's fine. How are we liking this? We're throwing out Minecraft facts here. Yeah, use the least amount of materials to accomplish my goal. Yeah. I am guessing it does not have a second floor as well. It just doesn't seem to me like it would. But I don't know, maybe it did. Maybe it did. Maybe that's what the double walls were. I mean, if the double walls were thick for a second story, that would put a very interesting chunk right here as the second story. So we might want to explore that. Yeah, we may explore that. In the meantime, let's go ahead and do the overhang like we've been doing for all the things that reach out at the ends here. That. There we go. Okay. What do we think of that? How we liking that? I'm of mixed mind about it, but we'll see. Do that, and we're gonna do replace. We'll do the oak planks with air first, and then we'll do mangrove with air, and then we'll do birch. There we go. Okay, let's see how this looks. Okay, that's odd, but let's go ahead and we'll just do that to even it out. And then you got this room back here. Slap the torch down. Okay, that's all right, I guess. I mean, we might just do a second story right here, and then have a ladder there in the back. I don't know. And then this one, how we liking this one? Let's see here. This looks kind of okay. Kind of okay. And yeah, this just kind of goes to nowhere. Okay. And let's see what this one looks like. So we come in here, we got open air, that looks cool. And then we've got, yeah, storage back here. Storage here. And then here. And then here. Yeah, I think this is okay. Why don't we put a couple windows here, actually, while we're at it? So we got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, we can just do that. That. There we go. And let's move over here. We'll put some windows in this one, too. We'll do like that. Can't do anything there, but we'll put, like, one right there. There we go. Sure, right? It's fine. This one we'll put, let's see what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll do one right there, 1, 2 there. There we go, like that. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Let's do this. Let's do that. You can kind of come back here, and it's got whatever. Yeah, that's fine. No double doors for this. I think this should just remain sort of open because it's going to be open air. And I think what we should do, let's get a little fancy with this one. Or what I can do is I can not get fancy with this one, and we could save this for one of my sort of surprise streams, right? So we could have like, there you go. There's your stalls. You could have stalls for vendors or whatever. Anyways, we'll save that for one of my surprise streams when I decide to do that. So I think that's good. I think that's really good as is. I don't think we should do any more to it. The only thing I might think about doing is maybe bringing this up a second story, but that, I don't know, that seems a little excessive, because it would just be a chunk right here, and it would not line up with anything else. And so far, everything has seemed fairly symmetrical in this whole thing, this whole experiment. So I think I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay, so what are we talking about? We're talking about the caves and cliffs, and then the brush. Archaeological structure would be cool. Yeah, that would be neat. I don't see him doing it. But if they want to do it, they should actually reach out to me. That's who they should reach out to. But okay. Hello, Oda. Welcome. All right, so let's look at this next block here. So let's go ahead and do as we normally do. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, like that. Okay. Wait, what? That's not correct. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That. 1, 2, 3. There we go. There we go. All right. So we're just gonna run this along here like we normally do, and then we'll run it back, and then 1, 2, 3, right there, and then we'll start. Hold on. Whoop, whoop. Got a little off center there. Okay, what happened over here? Had a bit of a boo-boo. Okay, there's that. Oop, let's get rid of this guy. All right, so my printout that I have for this next section, like I said, has really small lines. So I'm gonna have to be a little more diligent with trying to figure out exactly what's going on. Thankfully, this next block is about as standard as you could possibly get. So no unique floor plans or unique things that they are doing. Everything seems pretty straightforward. And it looks like all the way over there, those last two blocks, or last two houses, look like they're joined to be one massive house. So that's pretty wild. So let's start with this first one. This first one has an andron right here. And it is a very big square andron. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like that. It also seems to... what's going on here? What is going on here? It seems to have the door for the andron. Sort of on the corner, kind of like this. So, you know, that's unique. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that. Because it's got a room here. Like that. And another smaller room, which is 1, 2, something like this. And this one looks like it's missing some walls, like some walls are sort of just degraded to the point where they don't really know what was there. So I'm thinking the more I'm looking at this, I think we should put the corner here, and we'll figure out a door later. There's also this room here. Here, we'll just go ahead and solidify that. And this room here, which is also square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That. So we've got 2 rooms left. But one is definitely larger than the other. So why don't we do this? Why don't we do this? There we go. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. And then for this one, let's go ahead and finish off the rest of this center walkway here. There is a small room here at the end of this walkway. And it is like this and like that. Then it comes out one, and then it's all open right here. Relatively open. Because it comes out like that. Okay, there we go. And the final thing that it's got going for it is it's got a little jut out right here. Like that. And then it appears to be fairly open here, like that. But again, it looks like there's some remnants of walls that might that they might actually think were there. So let's go ahead and just do this. Let's close this up a little bit more. We'll do a two-door or double door entrance there, and then this room had an entrance here, and it looks like they were unsure if this room had an entrance here or here because the walls were missing. So why don't we just do an entrance here, like that, and for the Andron, let's do an entrance here. For this small room here, we're going to do an entrance like that. And for this room down here, again, they were unsure. It looks like there was probably maybe an entrance here. So there we go. Now this room over here in the corner, surprisingly, looks like it had an entrance going into maybe that room because this wall was missing. So I think what we should do for this one is, because we have this room here, why don't we just do that? So you come into this room and go there, and then same, you come into this room to go into that one. Unless we, nope, that's how it should go. So that's what we're gonna do. That's gonna be that one. What do we think? Onar got inspired and took off. All right, cool, man. Look forward to seeing what you build. All right. Okay. All right. Let's just go ahead and see see how we're feeling on this one. This one looks fairly straightforward, a lot like the other ones. So obviously, courtyard here, probably second story back here, the usual. So let's go ahead and do like this. And we'll do like this. Just keep it coming, keep it coming. Whoop, 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 whoop. There we go. Do that. Fill in here where it needs to go. And now I just saw something out of the corner of my eye that got my attention. Why is there wood there? Oh, because it's... Alright, yeah. Okay. Anyways. Do this, do this, do this. Do this. Okay. Whoop. There we are. Oh man, I'm just like slapping stuff everywhere. Okay. Now, what I think... actually, this needs to be a little bit bigger. I don't know why I did that so small. Something like that. There we go. Okay. I think that's good. I think that's real good, actually. So... let's sort of work through this. So you come in, here's the courtyard. You got a room here. You got some sort of maybe storage there. You got the courtyard continues this way, but maybe you've got like this is a covered area here with storage. And then when you get here, you've got this room, which leads into this room. And then you got, of course, this room, sort of a long, skinny one. This one a little bit bigger. You got this one here. And then when you come into this room, you can also come into the Andron. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. I think it's fairly straightforward. And this should go by pretty quick. So let's stand right here. We do the stack 2. Push me out of the way. There we go. All right. So let's go ahead and there's that. So we'll, you know what? We'll do this now while we're at it, because we might as well. Let's do this with the... We always do this at the end, but when we do it, it's always so dark. So let's just slap this down right here, right now. So we go bam, and then we go bam, like that. And same thing here. Slap the door down. Throw that up. By the way, I also, before the stream started, I was sort of playing around and sort of looking at the town here, and I decided to set the time to midnight to see what it looked like at night, and it looks really cool at night. It definitely looks very neat. All right, so there's that. Do this here. Oop. There we go. Now, why is it that I thought that you could not just place doors down without having like something above it? I don't know why I thought that. So yeah, look at that. Oh, anyways, yeah, here, let me show you what this looks like at night. This looks really cool. Here, we'll get really high up in the air. So you can see it. Okay, here, let's do this real quick. Time set midnight. Whoops, midnight. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So yeah, there's some dark corners and stuff, but man, that looks neat, all lit up like that. So yeah, I especially like the dark courtyards like this one, where it's just a dark courtyard, and then you can kind of go and do whatever. Oh, I forgot I did that. I need to do that more often. Okay. So anyways, yeah. So that's I think it looks really cool. At night, I think it just, I don't know, it just looks alive to me. So anyways, that's a quick aside. Okay. So yeah, I think what we should do is we should do the usual. I think there should be the walkway that comes across here, and obviously because this sticks out, the walkway should also have a little bit of an overhang, or not walkway, but should be a roof here that has a little bit of an overhang, and there will be a roof here as well. So let's go ahead and do this to this. Also, I really do dislike the fact that I made all these way too high, but you know, we're too far into it. Can't go back and change it. I mean, I suppose we could always just copy and then drop down one, but anyways, yeah, okay, so there's that, right? And so maybe we have the stairs in here going up. That wouldn't be bad. You come up the stairs and then you're on the walkway. Yeah, that's cool. Let's do the roof right here. Oops. Yeah, if I have the stairs coming up this way and you come that way, yeah. That would be awesome. Wait, did I just do that right? Yes, I did. Okay. So we do this as well. I mean, might as well just bring it all the way over. Okay. We also want to do this. So a little bit of an overhang over that. And then I also want another roof right here. So we'll put it like this. Yeah, we'll put it like that. Okay. And then we go like that. And like that. Oop. That's all right. Oh my god, I just did it again. Okay. And like that. All right, we do this. Oh, and now that I got those up, I can just quickly just go like this. Yeah, look at that. That's cool, because that's like a little overhang for that little area. I'm liking that. So let's go ahead and do this. Oops, that's fine. And we're just going to bring it all the way across, and we'll just cut out what we need to for the roof, or for the stair access. Well, we'll jump off that bridge when we get to it. And then here, same thing, just like that. Like that. And we just run it like this and like this. There we go. And so I think what we'll do is we'll have stairs. Let me go ahead and just do that right now. So I'm going to run the stairs along this side here. So what I want is yeah, the last stair to be like this. Let me do that, and then that. So you come walking up this way. And then you come across. Yeah, let's get rid of these. You do that. There we go. So you come down here like that. We'll just do that. There we go. And then you come across. Yeah, like that. There we go. And then I think what we'll do too is, because this is going to be sort of a covered like storage area, maybe. I don't know. We'll do like that. We can't use... Yeah, we'll just... Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We'll just do like that and like that. Okay. There we go. There we go. So... come walking up this way, and then bam, you're in the walkway that goes across. So let's go ahead and replace this, and then let's go ahead and replace this. So that's the walkway. I don't really like that. That's good enough. Okay. All right, so then I think what we should do at that point, not this, we'll slap that there. So you come up the stairs, you come this way, and then you've got these rooms here. So let's go ahead and, even though the Andron is at this end, we are going to put a room above it, like it's just like it's at the back of the house. Otherwise, what it would be the Andron would be here. There'd be some, like this would be the walkway leading into the courtyard, and then you don't have a second story back here. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a backwards house, but that's okay. That's okay. Get out of here. All right, how we looking in the chat? Okay, Zen, you're gonna hang out and not be very talkative? That's fine. That's totally fine. You don't need to be talkative. I'll do the talking for both of us. So there's that. So if anybody wants to know about the paper that I just wrote, I can always talk about that. That's kind of fun. I'm very passionate about it though, so fair warning. All right, here we go. Stack 2. All right, so there's that. And I realize I just did this, and I don't know why I did that. I don't need to do that, because we're going to put up a wall there instead of this. I don't know why I did that. Okay, so let's jump in here. We want a door right here. Yep, there we go. And we want a door right here. And then... let's put a door... Okay, follow me on this here. We're going to put a door here, and then I think this should be like storage for this room. Well, how do we like that? Otherwise, it's just a really skinny room with nothing with nothing that I can use it for. So I like that. I like that. Let's go ahead and also do some windows while we got this whole thing open right now. Might as well. We're already gonna do the doors. Actually, we're gonna do the door here like that. Yeah. And this will be sort of, we won't do totally dark storage. There we go, do that. but we will not have windows coming for that one. So for this one, of course, we'll do a window here. Obviously, we'll do a torch here. And that. I like that. And then for this one, we'll have a window that looks out this way. Actually, that's a really nice view. So let's do, we're not going to do 3 wide, because that just seems crazy, but we'll do like that so you can get a pretty good view. Same thing here, even though you're really just kind of looking into the alley. Okay, so then we do this, do that, do that. All right, and now we will do the roof. Is the paper about the Bronze Age collapse? No, but that is the second paper I'm writing, actually, about the, it's actually about the Bronze Age collapse. The paper that I wrote is actually about the Trojan War, and my sort of thoughts on the historicity of it as an archaeologist, and somebody who is very passionate about it. And I take a very very practical viewpoint with it, because one thing that I have learned about myself is that I'm a very practical person, which is sometimes sort of frowned upon in anthropology, because they're really full of themselves, and they're like overly pedantic and navel gazing, so they have to feel like they are there's a lot of theorists out there that base their entire life over really bizarre theories that are overly complicated, when simple solutions could just as easily be an answer. But I feel like they do that because they want to feel smart. That's that's besides the point. Actually, funny story. I'm in a cultural anthropology theory class because it's required for my master's, and the instructor, he has us read a whole bunch of theory papers and stuff, throughout the semester. And there was one that I absolutely hated. I thought it was, again, overly pedantic, and I even, in my summary of it, said this person is being overly pedantic, and I think I even called her navel gazing. I even called it navel gazing, because it was just obnoxious. The whole paper was just, or a whole article was just absurd, in my opinion, because it was just, again, it was a bunch of nitpicking and a lot of these really highbrow thoughts that just, it was just dumb. It was just dumb, and it sounded like somebody who wanted to sound smart. And so I was like overly harsh of it, and just like tearing into it, and making some fairly, I wouldn't say derogatory comments, but I was saying some comments that, like, it, if you read what I say, you'd be like, oh wow, this guy really doesn't like this person, because it's ridiculous. Anyways, come to find out, that article was written by my instructor's advisor when he was getting his PhD. So that was fun. I don't know if he did not like my commentary or not, but anyways, that's just a really long story that just goes to show you that, maybe don't be so critical of people sometimes, because you never know if the person teaching the class is actually their student. So yeah, that was, he didn't dock me, so I mean, that's good. I mean, I am allowed to have an opinion, but I'm sure he didn't appreciate it. So anyways, yeah, that was fun. That was, yeah, a little ridiculous. So all I could think and it was funny because we were in class the next day, and he was like talking. He was like, by the way, this blah 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 was my advisor when I was getting my PhD, and my stomach just dropped, and I went, oh no. And yeah, and I hadn't submitted the paper, my review yet. either. And so I thought about it, and I was like, you know what? I already said it. I already think it. I'm just gonna roll with it. You know what? If he doesn't like it, oh well. I don't have to get a decent grade in this class. I'm not fighting for funding for next year, so screw it. And yeah, he didn't say anything, so that was fun. But yeah. Anyways, yeah. So the paper that I wrote about the Bronze Age, about the Trojan War. I'm very sort of passionate about my thoughts on it, because again, I take a very sort of practical mindset to it. I think that I mean, conflict was a thing. Oh my God, I okay, there we go. Conflict was a thing in between Mycenaean Greece and Anatolia. We know that. We have the Hittite letters that talk about it. We have the Hittite letters that talk about, you know, people being. Oh, why can't I? Oh, because the roof is here. Okay, well, kind of wanted to have that. All right, we're just gonna do. Okay, we're just gonna do this for now. Hold on. Nope. Okay. I want it to actually go all the way up to the roof. Is what I want. Not that one. So anyways, so my argument was that the Iliad was a it was originally an oral tradition, because we have evidence of that. We have evidence of it in basically talking about actual Bronze Age stuff that was not around the same time as Homer, right? So he talks about a lot of Bronze Age things that he wouldn't have known about unless this was from an oral tradition. And so my argument was that the Iliad is shows evidence of generations of conflict, basically, but that it was all small-scale raids, not a full-on 10-year war. That it was just what wood do we want to use? Do we want to just do oak with this one? I feel like we should just use oak with this one. That it was a bunch of raids that eventually became the oral tradition known as the Iliad. That the Mycenaeans we're just gonna do this. There we go. Yeah, Mycenaeans were raiders, and they, because it was a I mean, the elite class in the Mycenaean world were warriors. They prided themselves on being warriors. And, you know, when you have a whole bunch of people that are really peaceful, the only way to be awesome warriors is to go out and, you know, do some raiding. And then when you read the Iliad, and this is sort of the big one here, is that when you read the Iliad, you actually, they talk about raiding. They in fact, the whole thing about Achilles' woman is because he took her in a raid. They talk a lot about raiding in the Iliad. So can I just do that? Is that terrible? Does that look bad? No, that's not so bad. That's not so bad at all. And it keeps you from running off onto that. Okay, I like that. See, I told you this one was pretty straightforward. So yeah. So, yeah, my whole argument of the paper was, you know, the Trojan War happened, but it did not happen in the way with which Homer claims that it was. Let's see how this looks. I mean, I would replace that with. Meh. I guess that's all right. Yeah, we'll replace that with mud brick stairs. And so I used a lot of arguments from. Well, I used some from the Iliad, but I used a lot of them that were based on archaeological data, specifically the Hittite letters that talk a lot about Mycenaean Greece and their they're messing around with the Hittites a lot. They went into Anatolia and did a whole bunch of stuff all the time, and it had been for a long time too. They did it, I mean, back at like the 1400s, starting in the 1400s all the way up through to the end of the Hittite Empire. They're complaining about people from Mycenaean Greece, which they called the Ahiawans, and it's generally accepted that the Ahiawans are Mycenaean Greeks anyways, and so that's not up for debate, in my opinion. And if you want to debate it, just show me where Ahiawa should be, and then we'll talk. But yeah, so that's that one was very fast. That house is done. Oh no, it's not. Let's get some windows going in this room here. And I also suggested that because we do have evidence that the Hittites actually started to, you know what, let's do something that we haven't done before to do that. Because the Hittites, or we have evidence of the Hittites basically telling other people to, like, don't let the Ahiawans through and don't let them trade with Cyprus and all those other places, which would put a lot of strain on Mycenaean Greece. There'd be a lot of strain actually on them if they couldn't trade. And one of my arguments is that, since they couldn't trade, they were sort of left hanging and they had to figure something else out. And when you have a civilization of warriors, figuring it out is going on raids. That's what they do. And so that was pretty much my whole argument, was that the Trojan War happened, but it was a series of small-scale raids committed by many people in the Mycenaean world. And over time, over the generational game of telephone, it became the Iliad. Yeah, the Ahiawa to Achaeans is really hard to say otherwise. Yeah, and what's even crazier is they originally called them originally called them Ahiawans, and so like, or Ahia, yeah. So they didn't have the WA at the end. In the beginning, it was Ahia. So, I mean, come on, Ahia and Achaea, come on. Anyone who has friends who speak, who don't speak their language as their first language, understand how words get changed because of how people pronounce things. And so anyone who argues that the Ahiawans are not the Mycenaean Greeks, because, well, Ahia and Achaea, even though they're close, that doesn't mean anything. That's pedantic. Yeah. Oh yeah, the back rooms, they need windows too. Did I not put windows in? Well, not that one, because I want storage. Did I not put windows in? I bet I did not put windows. Oh, look at that. I did not put windows in. Good catch. We should do that from now on when we start to put like doors and stuff in. We'll put windows in these things too. This one I'm going to leave like this because I think that should be storage. But this one, yes, should have a window. This is the Andron, so it will not have a window. So there we go. And then probably the same for this one too, huh? I probably forgot to. No, I put windows there. Okay, so I remember to put windows there, but not in the other one. All right, well that's fine. So yeah, so that was my paper. It was 12 pages of me arguing that. And to be fair, I could probably argue a lot more too. I think we could pull in a lot more from the Iliad to sort of back that up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we got one room here. Again, big room. We've got another one. It's a little bit smaller. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll do that. And then this massive one here. Okay. Oh, which has a wall that comes out like that. Okay. So yeah, so that was my whole paper, was arguing that Trojan War happened, but it was through the generational game of telephone, was actually smaller than what it should have been, and yeah, and the thing is, I truly believe that. That's not just me talking. I actually truly believe that is how it went down. So yeah, I feel like we've seen this shape before, with this weird little L-shaped thing. Hold on, I feel like, yes, actually, it was on this house over here, right here. These rooms. Yeah, you got this, and then it goes, next one is wait, a little bit smaller, and then this one a little bit smaller. Well, yeah, I think these are all the same size, but yeah, so this exact layout here is also over here, but it's flipped on the other side. That's very interesting. And actually it's flipped again, because on that one, the smaller room is towards that road, and it gets bigger as it goes farther in. This one, it's smaller farther in, but it gets bigger as it gets closer out. That's a very interesting thing. Write that down. We'll come back to that maybe. I don't know. Yeah, and so we could pull in all kinds of arguments from the Iliad, how, raiding was what they were doing. The fact that there are things in the Iliad that are definitely older, like Ajax's tower shield. That was not a thing towards the end of the Bronze Age. Tower shields were earlier, much earlier, and so that points to raiding. That definitely points to raiding. Or I'm sorry, not raiding, but that points to multi-generational raiding, rather than one definitive war. Plus, the big thing is, and here's my biggest argument against a 10-year war. Okay, get this, right? If we take Homer at face value, and the Mycenaeans left Greece with this massive army, and they showed up at the Hittites' doorstep. Well, Troy was a vassal state of the Hittite Empire, most likely at the time, right? So they show up with somewhere between 50,000 to 100,000 men. Troy at its largest maybe had 10,000 people. So even at the smallest numbers that Homer gives, which maybe was like 50,000, right? Because there was like 1,000 ships or 1,100 ships. 50,000 to 10,000, and that's total population. That's not just fighting force either, too, right? So it's 50,000 really against about 5,000. That's not a 10-year war, all right? That is definitely not a 10-year war. I refer to it as a drunken weekend with the boys, because there is no fighting a 10-year war at that point. It is truly and utterly a massacre. So yeah, I don't buy. Actually, this should be like this. I don't buy it, but I do buy it if they show up and raid real quick and leave. They can get what they need to, and they can have plausible deniability. Because if the Hittite king sends a letter over to the Mycenaean king and says, "Hey, why did your guys attack us?" He could be like, "I don't know what you're talking about. We didn't do that. Show me who did that." And then what? You got nothing. So yeah, Walusa. Walusa. Okay. Let's do this. Do I have opinions on the existence of Homer? Yes, I do. I find it really funny that him being a blind bard is considered canon, and then usually in the same breath people say, oh, but we don't know if the guy actually existed. Well, which is it? Do we not know if he existed, or was he a blind bard? Oh, that's right. Somebody at some point said he must have been a blind bard, and they used really, really shitty evidence to back it up, because, well, he talks about a blind bard in the Iliad, in the Odyssey, and you know, that's self-insertion, which is a really dumb argument to make, because not every author does self-insertion. And so that was the whole argument, and for some reason people bought it and people ran with it, and it's almost considered canon. And I find that just appalling that we continue to perpetuate that. We don't know if Homer was a blind bard. We don't even know if the guy existed, right? Because we don't actually have any works of his. We have stuff that says this is the works of Homer, but it's been copied over, you know, thousands of years, and so we don't actually have his works. So we can't say for sure if the guy actually existed. I think the guy actually existed, but I think he went around and he collected all of these things and put them together. Because if you read the Iliad, I bet that's a pillar instead of two doorways. I bet that's a pillar. Because if you read the Iliad, there's some parts in it that really sort of stand out as being different from each other. And it makes sense to say, okay, well, that was probably another poet, and he was, you know, copying it down. That's what I think. Homer is. I think he was just the guy that went around and accumulated all of these stories. And the thing is, we see that same thing happening again later in the classical period. That's what Herodotus did. Herodotus ran around and accumulated stories. We don't. Why do we think, you know, nobody questions whether or not Herodotus you know, made that stuff. I mean, people question whether or not he made that stuff up, but it's really obvious that he went and talked to these people, right? So like, I don't understand why there's this weird sort of like double standard with Homer, you know. Oh, we don't know if the guy existed, but let me tell you a bunch of facts about him. Like, what? Like, you can't have it both ways. It doesn't work like that. This is the real world, folks. Again, there's my practical side coming out. So yeah, that's my opinion on that. And yes, I did see earlier, we are absolutely 100% not going to talk about Schliemann and his excavations at Troy, because I also have very strong opinions on that, which some people know. And mainly it has to do with the fact that, you know, archaeologists sort of brought it upon themselves. Okay. Oh, I put doors in, but I didn't put windows in, even though we just had this conversation about it. So, did anybody say anything about windows? Yeah, no, nothing. Okay. Yeah. Homer, the collector poet. Yeah, he still had to make it all make sense. Exactly. He would still have to put everything together in such a way where it would have to make sense. Yeah, exactly. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's what Herodotus did too. Herodotus put it all together to make sense. So there's absolutely 100% nothing wrong with that at all. Do that. There we go. Wait, does that have two doors? It does have two doors. Okay, that's interesting. We don't need a window for that either. Okay. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. I like it. We're gonna have to figure out where to put the stairs to get up, but I like it because we got a door there. That ain't gonna work. Maybe right here. Maybe put the stairs right here. Well, yeah, and that's the other thing. Yeah, you're right. Homer could have been the guy who sent people out to go collect the stories. You know, yeah, it could have been any number of things. Homer's name, I think, means hostage, I think is what it means too. So, like, any number of that could be metaphorical. He could be a hostage to his art. It could any number of things. Okay, I think we need to come here and do that. Replace air with acacia? No, replace air with oak planks. There we go. And I think we should do that. There we go. Yeah, that's looking good. I shouldn't have done that because actually we're going to be putting a roof on this. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and slap a roof down. See, and this is why I don't like how tall I made this, because I should have the roof starting here and going up. These should only be... These should be one lower rather than that. But like I said, it's too late. It's too late to change that. It is what it is at this point. But maybe when I do the starter house tutorial for an ancient Greek house using one of these floor plans, maybe I'll adjust that at that time. Okay, so we do this, and we slap another one down there. Slap another one of these right there. There we go. And we're going to want to do this. Okay, and we do that, and that, and that. Yeah, no, the Bronze Age collapse paper, which I'm currently writing, actually is suggesting that the Trojan War, this is sort of like a part 2 to that first paper, that the Trojan War, or in my case, a bunch of conflicts, actually contributed to the Bronze Age collapse. That they did a bunch of raiding, and the destructions at Troy sort of messed up the Mycenaean elites to where they got really paranoid, and that paranoia transferred to the population, and eventually the population decided they were done with that shit. That's my whole argument. So yeah, my whole argument is all right there. And I'm actually using modern parallels actually to argue it too. So I'm using the French and Russian revolutions, the Arab Spring, a bunch of them to argue that. So yeah, all right. So for this one, let's talk about pillar colors. I'm thinking. I know we've been sticking with wood, and I do want to stick with wood, but I really did like that. But I don't know, it blends in too much with we're just gonna do birch. We're gonna do birch for this one. It's enough of a whatchamacallit, contrast. So that's what we're gonna do. Do this here, birch, and we're gonna do this one here, birch. That. And we're gonna have to come off of that one because I don't think I have a wall here, do I? No, I don't. I don't have a wall here. The wall is right there. How did I do that over here? I thought I had spots where there was like double pillars. No, there wasn't. I just... Okay. Alright, well, it is what it is then. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do that. I mean, I suppose I could always just do a double pillar and come right off of here. That works. Okay. Yeah, so there we are. What? You sent me an email? You sent me an email? Did you? What was it about? Because I've been getting a lot of dumb spam email from people. So you're gonna have to let me know what it was about. Because I've had a lot of dumb ones. So a lot of dumb ones wanting to do like, it's the usual scam. What'd you call it? Collaboration video, not collaboration videos, but sponsorships. A lot of scam sponsorships right now, where they're like, oh, we're from this company, and then you look at the email address they're sending it from, and you're like, no, you're not. You're definitely not from that company. So yeah, you'll have to let me know what email you sent me there. Whatever, Swanland Pictures. Yeah, let me know what email you sent me, and I will give it a look and see what it is. But I'll tell you what, if it sounds scammy, I'm gonna tell you to F off. So just a fair warning on that. Oh, I guess I didn't need this. There we go. All right. So we're gonna come here. Whoop. We're gonna come here, look straight up, do stack 2. All right. Yeah. Yeah, and I think we should have the stairs. Whoops. Right here. Do like that. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, you're the one with the archaeology game? Is that what? Yeah, actually, I meant to email you. That sounds great, and I think I will take you up on that, because that sounds super fantastic. I am all for that. So if you are the one who sent me the email about the archaeology game, then yes, I am absolutely 100% interested, and I will probably take you up on that, because that I love it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I know you said like, oh hey, it's okay to be mean about it or whatever, or be critical, but no, I saw the trailer for it, and it looks very simple and straightforward, and I like that. I like you're not getting into the craziness of it, and so I will probably look at it critically, of course, but also with an eye towards like, this is not a one-to-one representation of how archaeology gets done. So yeah, no, I definitely want to check it out. So yeah, absolutely. I did mean to email you back. I'm sorry I did not get back to you. It's been really rough the last couple weeks, because we're finishing up this semester, and I had a whole bunch of grading I needed to do. And I've got the class that I'm co-teaching, the really small class that I'm co-teaching. We ran into some technical problems with Canvas, which was not fun. And so now we're having to have like meetings with all the students, with every student in that class. It's just a real pain in the butt. But yes, I am absolutely on board with that, and I will probably take you up on it. The other thing too is that I am going to be going to Greece, and so I just don't know when I'll be able to get to it. But yes, definitely thank you for thinking of me on that, because I mean, yeah, heck yeah, I want to go do that. I want to try that out. You should also hit up Harold too. Harold Halfdan. I mean, I know he does a lot of just Minecraft stuff, but I bet he would be interested in checking it out too. He's a ex-archaeologist, but his background is, if I remember correctly, I think Scotland or Ireland. I think maybe Ireland is his background. So he'd be definitely another one to hit up too. So, yeah, archaeology video game. Yeah. It's yeah. If you want to put the name of the archaeology video game in the chat, so the folks can go check it out on Steam and they can see what it's all about, and they'll see why I'm saying what I'm saying. Yeah, put it in the chat so they can check it out and they can wish list it too. But yeah, it looks pretty good. It looks very simple. It looks, you know, that's the thing. I since doing this class, I've got to meet a bunch of you know, game dev type people, and the one thing that comes up all the time is, you know, keep your scope small. You don't want things that are too crazy. You know, you don't want to bite off more than you could chew. Keep it small. And this definitely looks like you actually were able to do that very well. I have a hard time with keeping stuff small like that, but this definitely looks like you were able to do that. So yeah, I'm very excited to try it out. Okay. Replace air with what am I doing? Acacia slabs. All right, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I think it needs another pillar. And I just took this pillar down, but I think that's really, yeah. And I think what we should do is actually replace this. There we go. Yeah, AE, archaeological, yeah, expedition. Yep. That's the one. Yeah, it looks fun. It looks like an absolute hoot. So, yeah. I like it. But who knows? I might play it and be like, "Oh my god, you got this all wrong." Who knows? But as of right now, it seems like a fun, cute game. So that will definitely, I'll definitely play it at some point. Also, if I get early access to it and it crashes my computer, I'm gonna come find you. So all right, let's see here. We got this. Yeah, we're gonna put some railings on this. Oh. Yeah, like that. Okay. There we go. I mean, seriously, how many YouTube people doing stuff on YouTube, can you watch them actually threaten people with bodily harm if they crash their computer? Yeah, you know, I like to think that I'm a trailblazer in that effect. Anyways, it's all good. It's all good fun, and it's all joking, of course. Or is it? No, all right, so let's see here. We want a door right here. We're not going to put a window because that looks out into the neighbor's yard, but you know, no, we're not going to put a window. Okay. And then, oh, I totally, is it here? Nope. One more over. Ah, I was so close. So close. Okay. There we go. Not a window there, but we definitely want windows here in the back. So let's just do this. And let me grab Oh, actually, let's grab a birch fence. Because we got the birch posts, so I might as well do that. Yeah, there we go. Okay. And then, oh man, is it here? Yeah, close enough. There we go. Okay. Yeah, if you live in the Ukraine, I'm not the biggest threat. You have, yeah, that is true. That is very true. Yeah, that is 100% true. Yeah. Let's see here. We'll just do 2 windows. How's that sound? Yeah. But of course, that is just a joke. I'm not seriously going to threaten someone with bodily harm. Okay. Let's go ahead and go back down. We have windows here. Yes, we're going to replace those with the birch. Yeah. And then same thing here. We're going to replace that with birch. Is there a... Oh, that's the... I mean, that would be a really funny thing to have a window right there. You could, like, mess with people when they go up the stairs, but we're not going to do that. Okay. Actually, there's a guy in Ukraine that I was going to order some stuff from. Some Bronze Age weapons from. And I was actually trying to get the school to order that, because we got a whole bunch of stuff in for a warfare class, an ancient warfare class, arms and armor. And there's a guy in Ukraine who makes really nice Bronze Age weapons out of bronze too, which is phenomenal. Okay, and I think this is something like that. So I think what we're going to do is we're actually just going to... Oops. Okay. Look at that. That came out kind of nice. Yeah, I like it. I think that's okay, too, with the post there. Yeah. All right. Thoscalos has a passport. Yeah. Yeah, I'll be in Greece, though. All right, let's move on. Moving on to the next one. Next one has this interesting... some interesting spots on it that I think might actually be posts. What kind of bronze does he use? I don't know. But that's all he does is bronze weapons. And he makes a gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous Mycenaean type G sword, which is my favorite because it's like a really long, thin blade. Sort of very, very elegant. In the classics world, they refer to them as rapiers, which drives me absolutely bonkers. Oh, you know what? Actually, ooh, hold on. This right here had this, and I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do, yeah, like that. Yes, or maybe I do that here. Have that as a little cubby. Hold on. That's not what I meant to do. How does that look instead? Get rid of that and do that. You have this sort of right here, and you can't see it from the door, whereas if you had this, you can see it from the door. Yeah, I like that, because this is almost like a little hidey hole. Okay, we're going to do that. All right, sorry. There's a little bit of a thing there. Yeah, no, he makes some really nice stuff. He's also made axe heads before. He makes some really nice Minoan daggers. A friend of mine has actually purchased stuff from him before, and it's absolutely gorgeous craftsmanship. I think he purchased a Type H blade from him, which is a really wide, flat blade. It was very nice, very, very nice, excellent craftsmanship. And so, yeah, and then of course my friends who do armored combat, they get all of their armor from Ukraine because there's some armorers there that make some amazing, absolutely amazing pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, running into the same problem. So this is actually the same size as this one. But this room is supposed to be bigger than this one. So I hate to do it, but I might make this one. No, I'm just gonna have to do like this. It's just gonna have to be the way it is. Unfortunately, we're sort of stuck. And then there's another one of these really long buildings, rooms, like that. Oops, actually, whoop. I did the wrong one. Like that. Okay, there we go. Like that. And then this, so when I was talking about the little spots, so it goes like this. Like that. But it's not exactly lined up correctly here. We might have to get a little creative with this one. Like that. Yeah, that'll just have to be it. Alright. And then, so then we've got a small room. It comes off of this. Like that, but I think it's right here. Okay, there we go. Oops. But yeah, the armor that my friends get from Ukraine are just, I mean, it's very, very nice, high quality stuff. Obviously, I mean, they're getting the shit kicked out of them, so you know it should be good quality stuff. Okay, so there's that, and then there's like a double 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh man. Okay, instead what we're gonna do is we're gonna come down here. We're gonna do this. There we go. So we can give this a double door. And then it's got this sort of unique thing here where it's actually, we're just going to do this, where it sort of cuts off the entrance, so you got to do this like little zigzag thing. So that's interesting. That's a very interesting feature. But that's that. So another one of these long, skinny, empty rooms, like the one before it. Yeah. Similar to a modern machete for the H-type, yeah, sort of. It's a wide, really wide, flat. It's like if you asked a kindergartner to draw a sword, that's what he draws. This like rectangle with a point at the end, and it's got like these not grooves. Well, it might be grooves, but these sort of ribs that run down the length of it. So yeah. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. Might... Yeah, we're just gonna have to leave it like that. I don't like the way that these two rooms came out. I just don't. And the only way to get it right is to do this. Like that. That's the only way to do it, to get it to actually come out right. Unless I want to make this room one smaller, like if I want to do this. Actually. No, actually, that looks pretty good. That does look pretty good. That we're gonna do that. However, we are going to get rid of that one because it's basic. It looks like there are posts here or something, but they're very faint in the drawing. So I'm thinking that they're not actually there. They might be spots on the ground that maybe had that. I don't really know. Let me okay, so let me look at the rest of this here and see if maybe, yeah, I don't know. Oh, okay. Easy one to check. Over here, because this map was made by, I think, someone else. Ah, yes. Okay. Yep. Those are actually, in fact, post bases. So what we need to do is we need to, I think, go like this, 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 and this. Yeah, we're just gonna have to do that. That is correct. Like that. Okay, so there we are. How many people lived in this complex? Oh my god, I don't know. I have no idea. The thing is this residential area was used for, I mean, in the classical period and then the Roman period, so like it had people living in it for a long time. And this is only like a chunk of it too. This isn't like the whole thing. So I don't know. Now as for house, you would expect to have the family. So you'd have the man, his wife, and then their kids, of course, but also the slaves that they had, because, you know, I mean, it kind of sucks, but slavery was a thing back then. You can't just imagine it wasn't a thing. No matter what YouTube tries to do with, you know, making sure that your video isn't seen because you use that word. Whoops, there we go. That was the reality of the world. So yeah, so a few people. What? There we go. Okay, there we go. All right. So, I mean, this a household could have had bare minimum 3 people. Man, wife, kid. With a maximum of, well, however many, with slaves. So, I mean, yeah. Your guess is as good as mine at this point. All right, doors. Door. Yeah, instant demonetization. Yeah, exactly. I think it's kind of weird that that they do that, especially with like history channels. When you know, when that was a thing, and again, you shouldn't be shying away from the fact that that was a thing, because, like, you know, just because it was a thing doesn't mean that you're supporting it. So yeah, it's they're very weird about this. Okay, I think we should do mangrove for this one because I like using mangrove. So we're gonna do like that, and I think we should do the mangrove. Okay, we'll just do that. Mangrove for the windows. There we go. Looking pretty good. This one, we're gonna do the doors. And then a door right here. There we go. Looking good. Looking good. Oh, see you, Richard. Okay. Next question is, where are the stairs? Oh, right here. Okay, never mind. Oh, well, nope. Okay, well, we'll figure that out when we get to it. So let's see. There's that. And we're gonna come all the way over to here. Oh, wait. What am I doing? There we go. Replace air with oak planks. There we go. Okay. There we go. So we got a little walkway there. Yeah. And we'll just do the stairs right here, going up. All right. And we're going to put a door there. We're going to put a door there. And we'll put a door there. Okay. Let's do this real quick. And then we'll take a break. Hydration break. And we'll play my favorite game of the stream. Alright. So let's get this. Let's get that. Look straight up. Stack 2. Bam. There we are. Looking good. Looking real good. Okay. So, if I start the stairs here. If I start the stairs here, how far do we go before we are... Oh, yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So we want the pillars coming up. One more. There we are. Okay. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. All right. Let's go ahead and slap a roof on this. Oh, wait. Before we do that, let's go ahead and put some doors and windows. Like that. And, yep, put a door here. And that. And put a window right there with a door. And a torch. There we go. Okay. Now let's put a roof on this. This is barely an eighth of the city. Wow. Yeah, I never thought of it like that. Yeah, it's Olynthos is pretty large. I definitely, if I had the time, I would have gone to see Olynthos. If I had the time, I would go to see Olynthos while I'm in Greece this time around, but I don't. Too busy meeting important people and talking to them about, you know, how awesome I am, as one does. Go, and that. Oh, there we are. Okay, that. Oh, nope. Okay, that and that. All right. Once we get this on, we'll be good. We'll have another home down. Oh my god, there we go. If I can actually click correctly. And this one. There we are. Okay. And of course this is going to be a warehouse or something. What's going on? I would extend the pillars even if no one would see it, just to make my brain happy. Extend what pillars? Through the planks? No, they got to hold the planks up, man. Yeah, no, they got to hold up that floor. See, they hold up the floor, and then you stack another one right on top. Keep going. Okay. Let's slap down real quick just some of these guys. Oh, wait a second. No, we're gonna slap down some of these guys. I love the mangrove in this game. Absolutely love the mangrove. I know a lot of people dislike it because it's a pain in the butt to harvest, but I really like the mangrove. Okay, so we're gonna go like that. There we go. Oh man. I can't put one there. That's okay. I guess we don't really need one. Oh, we kind of do though. What if we do this? Yeah, I guess that's okay. I dislike it. I dislike it a lot. Okay. Oops. There we go. We'll figure this out. We'll come back to that. Let's come back to that. Stick a pin in it, as they like to say. There we go. Don't need that. Okay. Looking good. Looks good. We'll need to put a roof on that and that. And then I think that'll do it for this house. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to make sure you guys all do the whole hydrate thing. And I will be right back. Okay. I think we're doing all right so far. I think this is looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and slap down a roof on this. Yep. There we go. And we got about an hour left, or so. I don't know. Maybe we'll see how long I want to go with this. But so far, so good. We're actually doing really good in our, on our time here. There we go. And I think we'll just do this. Add a... no, we won't do that. We won't add a roof over this. How do we want to do this part here? I think we want to take it down by 1. There we go. And I think we will do like this. We go like that, and we go like that. Looking good. What happens if I do that? Okay. I think that looks pretty good. We're just going to leave it like that. Now, this one, of course, is going to get a really tall roof. But again, we're running into that same problem that we had before with if we do a peaked roof, the water runs into that wall right there. Oh, trapdoor light. Yeah. That would be nice. And we've got the cool red ones too. So what if we did that? How does that look when you walk in? Oh, that's cool. That's way cool. You walk in, yeah. That's neat. Okay, yeah, we're gonna leave it like that. Okay, so this one, yeah, this one, we can't do a peaked roof. And if we do a slanted roof going this way, it's gonna run into these walls too. So, I don't know. How did we do the other ones? Where's the other ones? Yeah, I just did a peaked roof and just said screw it. We'll just do a peaked roof and just, whatever. So let's go ahead and do that, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, and we go... Hold on, we gotta do like that. And then this goes here, and then this goes here. So we'll just run this all the way back. And we'll do this and that. And then we come through here. We run this all the way back. Yeah, we could say they had gutters. I mean, they probably did. It makes sense. Olynthos is in the north. I don't know how much rain they get over there. So yeah, we'll just go with that. Ugh. Just can't do it fast. Okay. There we go. And then we'll do this one here. Oh. Okay, what if I did that? Did that work? Oh, that kind of works. Okay, what if I hit it at like that angle? Does that work? It does. Okay. So we go like that, and not too far off. There we go. And like that. Nope. Okay, well, whatever. That's not working. Okay, you know what? Pissing me off. Okay, there we go. Just do that. And then we'll put these back. And you know what? We can add a window to that one. Because it's right there. So we're good. Okay. Okay, so that's good right there. That's our big old warehouse type thing. So that's good. Yeah. All right. Okay, so what is it? Whoa, what now? Surgery in a couple of days. All right. Well, there we go. Rock on, dude. Come out of that like a whole new person. North of Greece actually usually gets a bigger volume of rain than London. Oh, wow. Okay, so yeah. So they'd probably have to have gutters. Yeah. All right, cool. We are good. All right, so now we're down to my favorite part of the game, or favorite part of the stream, which is it beer or soda? It is currently like 6 after 2 in the afternoon. Which is it? You'll never know. Okay. Let's do... I want to do like this. Even though you're not going to actually see it. I think that's a lot cooler. Yeah, that's a lot cooler. Oh, you know what we could do? Even better. What if we do this? Nope, stop it. Like that. So it's almost like a bigger... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so when you come in, it like... Yeah, there we go. That's kind of neat. Okay, anyways. Okay. Olynthos is more low-lining, though, so I don't know if they get that much rain. Okay. That's a Mountain Dew? Nope. That is incorrect. It is not a Mountain Dew. Definitely not a Mountain Dew. I have started not drinking caffeine after noon. And I've been slowly sort of weaning myself off of caffeine. Because I don't want to be dependent on it. And so, yeah, this is definitely not a Mountain Dew. Now, it doesn't mean it's not a soda, though. Okay, I'm going to put a torch here. I'm going to put a torch all the way down here. And I'm going to put one there and one there. Okay, there we go. And I'll put one there. All right. Okay, I'll put one there, too. Okay, anyways, there we go. All right. Warehouse. Everything else looks good, right? This is it. We're done with this one, aren't we? Oh, except for over here. How do I want to do this? I really wish you could put 2 trapdoors, but you can't. So I'm just gonna leave it. I think it's fine. I think it's fine. Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. So there we have it. Let's move on to the next one. Dr. Pepper, no. And a fun fact, Dr. Pepper actually has more caffeine than Mountain Dew. Dr. Pepper is, I think, the most caffeinated soda, I guess. All right. So this one, I think this one's going to get the dark oak treatment if it's got pillars. Alright, so here we go. Back rooms. Back rooms, we've got 4 of them. We got a big square one over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So big square one right there. It's got a skinny one here. And then, so it looks like we've got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Yep. Dang. Dang, I didn't even, like, I just eyeballed that, and that is correct. Okay. So we got that doorway there. We've got this doorway slightly off center. And we've got this one right there in the middle. Okay, so for this side we have a big one here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we are. No door that I can see. And then coming off of this, we're just going to do this real quick like that. So I have a basis. So this is all open right there. This is all open right here. And this has, okay, so it's got like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, bam, just like that. So there's 2 rooms here, or I guess 1 room here. 1, 2, 3. That goes like this. So it's got that. And then it's open here. But this is too big. So let's do this. There we go. Was that right? Oh, nope. Okay. It's got an opening there. Also, something interesting. None of these have an opening so far that go out to the alley, whereas we've had that in the other blocks. So like this block, there is, oh, no openings to the alley. Okay, well, hold on. I know we had an opening to the alley, some of the other ones. So this one has, yep, there's one opening to the alley. And then I think on this first group, we had a bunch of openings. So yeah, there's one opening to the alley, another opening right there to the alley, another one there. So it's interesting. We have a whole bunch of openings to the alley on this block, fewer here, and then none here, and then none here either. So that's a very interesting thing to keep in mind. At least I think it's interesting. I don't know. Maybe you don't think it's interesting. I do. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, what do we got? What do we got? Oh, wow. Yes. And water is the origin to all things. So, you have a list of all the clues I've given you. Now I just need to determine how big of a sweet tooth I have and whether I like fruity sodas. Fanta's, 7-Up, and some local soda. I will give you one more clue. I don't think I've opened up a can of any local soda. But I won't throw out the idea of generic sodas either. So, yeah. Okay. And who knows, it could be a beer. You never know. One of these times, maybe I'll show you. We'll see. Oops. There we go. There's that, and that. Whoop, 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 whoop. There we are. Okay. I do like the idea of building this stuff in Minecraft to get a better feel for what is going on. I'm a big proponent of, if you are going to study something, you should live it in some way. Experimental archaeology should absolutely 100% be a thing for all archaeologists. If you're going to make a claim, you need to actually do it. So like, you know, oh, if you're going to say, oh, well, these houses were built this way. Okay, cool. Build one like that. I think that the fact that we've built a whole bunch of these and we've noticed a lot of the same things happening is pretty cool. And we can actually build them in very similar ways repeatedly. What's that? Do you guys have Morinda out there? No, I don't even know what Morinda is. Yeah, I don't know what Morinda is. I feel like this little thing here, which is definitely separate, is some sort of, I don't know, workshop or something maybe, and this might be the Andron, a very large Andron. I don't know. Okay, let's go ahead and what was it? If you say something is possible, prove it by doing it yourself. Yeah, absolutely. You know who's a really good example of that, and I know I've brought him up a couple times, but Thor Heyerdahl is an excellent example of that. He claimed that the peopling of the Polynesian islands was by people from South America that floated over on balsa wood rafts, and everyone laughed at him, and he said, well, screw you, I'll prove it. And so he made a balsa wood raft, and him and some guys got together and did it. They sailed out and proved that it is possible. Now, downside, of course, is that though it is possible, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's probable. And that's also why we have a lot of these conspiracy theory nut jobs running around. Is just because it's possible doesn't mean it's probable. And so once genetic testing came around, they did some genetic testing and found that nope, the people in Polynesia are originally from Southeast Asia. And even though he could do it, even though it is possible, it doesn't always mean that it's probable. But it's cool to be able to do that, just to do something and say, look, I know it's possible, I just did it. That's one heck of an argument. I actually like that a lot, and I'm probably going to be one of those people that does that. Like, for example, fighting in a hoplite, fighting as a hoplite in a phalanx. So many instructors talk about how it was, and yet none of them have ever fought in a phalanx. I have, and I'll tell you, it is what a lot of people say. Doesn't work. So yeah, it's one of those things that and then when they're like, well, how do you know? It's like, because I've done it. I've actually done it. Granted, people weren't trying to kill us, but they were trying to hit us and hurt us. And so, yeah. So I've actually, one of the instructors who does, the guy who does the ancient warfare class, I gave a talk actually about it, about my time in a phalanx and what I learned and stuff. It was really cool. It was a really cool, fun time. Okay, I need to put doors on these guys too, and a torch. Same here. There we go. And we're going to put a double door here. All right. Now for this guy. This one, I honestly think we're just going to crack a door open right here. Bam. There we are. And we're going to slap down. No. Yes. Okay. And actually, we'll do that here and here. Because why not? As for this one, you know what? Let's also put a window there, off into the courtyard. So I slammed the door in my face. Okay. Yeah, that's not too bad. That looks pretty good. Oh, you know that story? Yeah, I love that story too. Yeah, linguistics didn't back it up. Well, there's a bunch of things that didn't back it up, but there were some things that actually backed up his reasoning for thinking that, because you know they have the sweet potato in the Polynesian islands, and it was, I think, one of the origin stories or something of a group that was there said that their ancestors came from the east, and that was one of the things. So when you have, you know, their ancestors coming from the east, and you have the sweet potato, which is a New World plant in the Polynesian islands, like all that stuff sort of adds up. So I mean, he had really good reason to think that. And after he did it, a lot of people had to rethink what they were saying, and I think that's a good thing. If you have archaeologists or people who have to rethink stuff with new evidence, like, that's a good thing. It's a very good thing. That's how we learn. You know, and that's also why I don't like some of the entrenched archaeologists who have built their career on something in particular, and they are hesitant to any kind of evidence that would go against what they've built their career on. You know, when you run into stuff like that, that's not a good thing. All right, let's go ahead and okay, can I slap one down right there? There we go. Yeah, right there and right there. Okay. Oh, and right here. Okay. And actually, while I'm thinking about it, we'll just do that to begin with. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, and that. Ooh. Oh, see, so close. Almost got the whole thing in one swoop. Yeah, experimental archaeology. I think there's a guy's channel that's doing experimental archaeology for Anglo-Saxon life. Oh, that's cool. That's way cool. Probably had contact even if they did not come from South America. Well, I mean, yeah, like I said, they had the sweet potato, so that had to come from South America. It probably floated over. So I mean, that's the big difference. But you know, that ain't nothing wrong with you know, saying that something like that happened. So yeah, I don't know. It's a fun thing, and I like bringing it up because he was definitely a doer. He said, you know, this is what we're gonna do. And I think that takes some pretty big balls when you have people, you know, who are going to be completely against you on it. So, whoop. Okay. All right, looking good. Let's go ahead and do the roof for here. And here. Okay, and here. And same thing. So we're just going to do this, and we're going to do, oh, this one's going to be a little funky. Oh, no, it's not. It's the same thing. We're just going to have to run this like this. There we go. Yeah, I like a lot of the experimental archaeology stuff. I'm a little wary of people who do experimental archaeology on YouTube because they tend to, I don't know, they tend to, I mean, it's YouTube, right? So you're wanting to get engagement, and so they, you know, a lot of them blow stuff out of proportion, which, I mean, it's fine, but, you know, it's entertaining. Go. There's that, and that. Oop. There we go. And we do that. Let's see if I can do it all in one fell swoop. Nope. Oh, there we go. Almost did it all in one fell swoop. Okay, so this is actually going to be fairly, symmetrical, which is kind of cool. I like that. Stop. Oh my god, stop. Okay, there we go. My fingers ain't working. Okay, there's that. Ooh, there we go. And that. Okay. All right. Oh, not only sweet potato, but the same word for it. Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know that one. Yeah, there's a lot of things that backed up why his experiment, or why his reasoning was there. What I find interesting is that even when he has that evidence, people were still stuck in their ways of no, people, you know, it was populated by people from Southeast Asia, and they were just like adamant about it, totally adamant about it. Even with all of that, evidence. And so, I mean, it makes sense, right, for him to be like, nah, screw you guys, I'm gonna do this. All right, so there's that. Looking good. I feel like we need like a wall or something here. There's no footers, so I think we'll just do this. There we go. Actually, maybe we do 3 tall. There we go. Yeah, that's nice. That's really nice. And maybe something like this. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Now for this here, I think we're gonna do the trapdoors. Like that. Okay, there we go. We're gonna do that here. And we're gonna do that over here. Okay. And I think we'll also do... No, because you can't walk off that. Okay, so there we go. Okay, now let's figure out stairs. I think stairs make sense either on this side or this side. So why don't we just... or we could do... Why don't we do something crazy? Why don't we do stairs on both sides? I know, I'm talking crazy now. So you have stairs over here, and we'll put stairs on the other side, too. That's kind of neat, right? You got 2 stairs going. Yeah, that's kind of fun. We're gonna leave that. We're gonna leave that. It horrifically impractical, but we're gonna leave it. And actually, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do like that. Nope. Like that. There we go. And like that. Yeah. Terribly impractical. but very grandiose. All right, and we're gonna do these guys here. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, look at that. There we go. So you come right on up. Bam. There you are. And let's go ahead and we are going to make this a little safer. There we are. How do we feel about that? Very symmetrical house. Very symmetrical house. Why can't just one boatload of people have gone? Genetics would still show it, I would assume. Or a whole boatload could have gone and they just died. And that's just a continuation of a story over time. So yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Listening to experts has more value than regurgitating. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah. So that was kind of nice. That was actually really nice. Very nice, easy way to go for this build, which was a nice change of pace. Let's put a window right here too while we're at it. There we go. Yeah. That's very nice. I like it. I like it a lot. All right, let's go on to this one here. This might be the last one for today. So, whoop. There we go. The thing to keep in mind about when it comes to oral tradition is very, very reliable in some ways. We have definitely moved away from the idea that oral tradition is overly flexible and not to be trusted, because that's just not how it is. I mean, we have oral traditions that have things that we have found to be correct thousands of years in the past. So yeah, it it is possible to look at something and say, well, this oral tradition might have evidence of whatever, or the memory of something. We have to remember that a lot of oral tradition can change if the culture wants it to. So a lot of especially non-literate cultures, when they have certain oral traditions, will absolutely keep things and mythologize other things, depending on what they consider to be important in their society. So that's something we got to keep in mind. So if you have a story of a boatload of people who show up from another place and they eventually die, maybe you want to venerate them, and somehow over time that becomes, they are your ancestors. So it's quite possible. But anyways, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay. We need to do, what is that? 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I believe that is correct, because that makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, okay. This one is split in half, right down the middle. All the way down the middle. There is a solid wall for this one. No entrances into each half, which makes me think that this is 2 separate houses, smaller houses, which we did see over here. Remember, it was the third one in. Was usually smaller. See, we got that one because it had that big chunk taken out of it for that. And then same thing with this one, because whoever owned this plot encroached into this one, and so we had this smaller one here. So I think what we're dealing with here is something very similar, because we have this split right down the middle. I mean, right down the middle. So let's go ahead and see what we're dealing with here. So this first one, we have 1, 2 like this, and then we've got this, and this is all gone. And then we've got something like that, and then like this. Okay, yep. And then we've got that. So that's the first one. And actually, you know what? Why don't we not do a double door here? Why don't we just do a single door there? And same for over here. We'll do just a single door here, even though it looks to be a little bit wider. That's what we're going to do. It makes me think that there's like a little courtyard here or courtyard here. The one next to it has an uneven split. So we got, what, this 8? So 1, 2, 3. So if we do this, that's an uneven split, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, good. Uneven split with a doorway here and a doorway here. Close enough. This is all gone. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Go. Okay. And then coming off of this wall, we've got something like this. It comes all the way out. It's about here. Then there's a doorway with a little thing like that. And a little thing like that. A very large opening with double door here. So that's what we got. See? That looks like 2 houses to me. I'm going with 2 houses. Oh, wow. You guys got... wow, you've been talking a lot. Oh, man, I haven't had a chance to watch Zinc's thing yet, because I've been so busy with this whole writing papers and stuff. And fantasizing about the Trojan War and the Bronze Age collapse. Okay, so there's that. I also find this room kind of interesting too. Okay. Oh, how did that happen? I am of 2 minds here. Let's see what this looks like. Okay. Sorry, I had to move some stuff on the desk. Okay, so this definitely looks like a doorway. This obviously is a doorway. And this is a doorway. And so is this. And, well, this might be a doorway too. Okay. This is very, very interesting. I am of the impression that this right here should be a little open courtyard. As should this. So, like... Oops. Got a little too froggy there with the clicker. So you come in here, you've got this sort of open walkway, doorway leading into this, right? You turn, then you got your sort of private courtyard. You got a room here, and you got a room here. This is a very, very large room. Like, very large room. Which makes me think that maybe if we do a second story, it has to be this back here. Let's slap a roof on this. And right here as well. And let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh boy. So we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do this, and do this. Okay, so then this is gonna be like this, and okay, yeah. There we go. Okay, and then I might just I could always just read my paper too. One of these times. I'd probably be pretty boring, actually. Okay. So we got that, right? It's still so tall. I mean, it's just so obnoxiously tall. The 4 high was too much. I really wish I would have done this one more lower, but you know what? It is what it is. I might be able to do it by doing it in World Edit, where I just take the from the one that should be the floor up and then just drop it. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, okay, so there's that. Or maybe I just leave this as a single story. I could just leave it as a single story. How does that look? Let's see. If I do this and I come here, right? And I come here. Okay. And then I do this, and this, and then that, and then we need to do that, and then that, okay. And then this thing, same thing. So what I'm gonna need to do is you guys need to flop down so I can stand here. Okay, thank you. So if I do this, okay. And I do the same thing here. All right, and then I'm gonna need to do like this. I do wish they did have half slabs, so you could put them out here. So because right now the full slab goes too far out, but if you only had like half of this sticking out, that would be such a nice amount that would stick out. So just cut this long ways right down this line, so it's only a half. That would be really nice. I would like that, but I don't see that happening. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. So then if I come in here with this, right? So we're coming in. Oh. You still got to do that. So if I do that, and I do that. Oh. Okay, that's not going to work. But I can do that. There we go. Okay. That was much harder than it needed to be. Okay. Do that, and then we just come down with this. How does that look? That's not bad. That's not bad. I like that. What is this? Well, how focused do you get when analyzing how the build should look? Yeah, I do. I get a little hyper focused when I'm trying to figure out how something should function and look. Yeah, it's the cross eye should bear. We might want to do like the lattice work over this. That would be kind of cool. Let's see what that would look like. If we did that to that, I don't know if that's going to be right. Let's see. Replace air with oak. Trapdoor. Let's give it a walk. Oh, that is cool. I do like that. Okay, I like that a lot. See, this is just too tall. This is way too tall. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this. And this. And we're gonna stand right here. Okay, we're gonna do copy. Knock that out. And yeah. Yeah, that looks, I mean, see, that looks so much better. It is shorter. That's the actual height it should be. I shouldn't have done that, because now I want to do that for the rest of this. But we're just going to hold off on that. Or are we? Nope. We're just gonna do it. Okay, so I guess I'm being crazy. Okay, so let's do this. That was first position, second position. Copy. Knock that out. Oh no. Is this gonna be off by one? No? Okay. There we go. Okay. Okay. See, that's much better. Okay. And let's just put this back up. Okay. So that is the one house, which I actually like a lot. Oh, see you, Zen. We know you specialize in Bronze Age Greece. Is that a general specialization, or do you have a specific field aspect you enjoy? Well, I mean, I have done this master's program, and the focus was on Bronze Age Greece, but I don't know if I could actually say that that I'm a specialist in Bronze Age Greece, because I work with a specialist in Bronze Age Greece, and she knows way more than I could ever know. Granted, she's been doing it longer, but you know, yeah, I don't know if I would truly consider myself to be a Bronze Age Greek specialist. I know more than other people. That's a definite thing I can say. But yeah, my specialty, I guess, if you want to call it that, revolves around I wanted it to be the late Helladic. So and towards the end of the Bronze Age, so the late Bronze Age. But really, it's been more of a general Bronze Age that I've been learning a lot about and know a lot about. So I mean, I can cover early Bronze Age, middle Bronze Age, late Bronze Age, Greece, of course. So yeah, so I mean, it's sort of a general Bronze Age stuff. But the thing I really like is sort of towards the end of that. I also like looking at the Bronze Age as a whole, because there's a lot of really wild stuff that you sort of learn as you go through it. I also, at this point, because of the classes I've had to teach, which I will be teaching new classes next year, different than the 201 that I was teaching before, which was classical civilization, so ancient Greece and Rome. But because of that class, I have a general knowledge of sort of the ancient world as well. And so see, I almost did it. And so, like, you know, yeah, I could tell you right now that, like, yeah, my specialty is just, you know, ancient Greece, basically, at this point. There's a lot of things I would like to know a lot more than what I know now. But such is the way of the world. You know, you can only do so much while in school. Okay, so I forgot there is actually there's actually a little thing that sticks out right here, and it lines up with that. So what is that? That's 1. Okay, so yeah, it's like sticks out right here. That's interesting. I wonder if that's like a little overhang or something. I see this right here as being sort of a courtyard, but I also see this as being a courtyard. So I don't know how should we really sort of tackle this. This is an interesting one. Wouldn't the roof butting against the walkway rail slope down away from the railing? Probably. Talking about this one. Actually, we could just knock that out right now, because it can just be like that. We do that, and then we do that, and then we do that. Yeah, that works. Good call. I like the way that looks. I like that a lot, actually. That was a good catch. Unlit campfires. I don't like the unlit campfires because they have that little black bit of coal or charcoal in the middle, and I don't really like that. I wish unlit campfires didn't have that, but I know you could do mods and stuff, but or texture packs that would get rid of that, which is fine. But yeah, I'm not a fan. Okay, so let's, you know what? Let's just continue this idea that there is. And actually, I am gonna do a little bit of a overhang here. That, there we go. Whoop, 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 not that. Okay. And right here. Like that. And then we're gonna do, nope. Yes, there we go. That, and that. Okay. By the way, while I'm in Greece, I'm gonna try to cache a bunch of videos that I can just have air like normal while I'm over there. But I might also do some long form gameplay, because you don't really need to edit that much. And that's a lot quicker to crank out than well-polished edited videos. So I might do that while I'm in Greece. And that way there's at least stuff always coming, because YouTube likes it when you stick to a schedule, and I like sticking to a schedule too. It makes me reliable. Okay. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do this as a roofed workshop. So to do that, we're going to go like, yeah. I could do this, that, or I could do it sloping this way, like this. Nope, because we haven't done that yet in this place, so we're not going to do that. We're just going to keep it like this. And we're going to do that and that. All right, we're going to do this, and then this will probably, we'll call it good after this is done. this house, not just this roof. That'd be messed up because we're not done with the whole thing yet. There's that, and then let's do that. Ooh, that's nice. Yeah, so now you got this like covered workshop area, but you also have this You know what? This is what we're going to do too. We're going to bring the cover out a bit. We're going to do that here too. So when you come in, it's like, yeah, like that. Okay. Yeah. And let's see how this looks. Probably going to look like garbage, but let's see. Like that, and like that. Good enough. Okay. Let's slap a door. Let's do double doors here. Let's do a door here. So you come through here. We're going to do a door here with a torch and a window. No, we're going to do just your standard oak. Okay, and same thing here. We're going to do... Oh, we'll do a double window because this is the bigger room. And we're going to do a door with a torch. And you know what? I get the impression that these people know each other. And if they don't, well, that's what we're going to claim. So we're going to have that, and or maybe we do like... What happens if we do that? How does that look? I bet it looks like shit. Yep, looks like shit. Okay. We do that and that. Okay, that's good enough. There we go. Looks good. What do we think of that? What do we think of that? All right. We liking it? We not liking it? You know, I could also do this same thing, but here, too. We could just go like this. See what that looks like. How does that look? Oh, that's kind of cool. Then you walk in here and then it's open. Yeah. That is kind of cool. Okay, we're going to do that. We may even just, because we do that, do this. Oh. Same thing here. And we'll do it out here. And out here. There we go. So this is sort of like the the lattice corner. But I like that because you come walking in here and it's like it's sort of open but not really. Then you got this, which is our closed-in workshop area, and then you come through here and then it is open. Fully open. I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, if they don't know each other, they will now. Yep, exactly. So, all right. I think that is good. Oh, you know what we do need? Almost forgot. So we need to put some windows in here. So we're just going to put one like that. And maybe we put one like that. Yeah. And in the workshop, same thing. Maybe we do two in the workshop. Get some airflow in here. 3 in the workshop. Get some airflow in. There you go. And then we are going to do the overhang, because I want to do overhangs when we hit the ends. Whoops. Just do that, and... Oh, nope, I was right the first time. Like that, and then like that. There we go. Okay. This hill is in the way. Before we go, let's get rid of this hill. We're gonna do like that. And let's see here. All the way around to here. We're gonna do Good enough. Then just do this and cut. Get the hill out of there. Get the hill out of there. Okay. There we go. Ooh, look at all the granite. Okay. So there we have it. There we have a little bit of the overhang now, like I like. And we have this entire block, or this half of the block done, and we did this one. That's what we started out on, which was quite the brain teaser. So yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I think this is great. I hope you enjoyed. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to turn off the Olynthos map like that. I'm going to turn this guy on, get that out of there, because this is going to be where we leave for today. So thank you for coming out, and I will catch you next time.